Alrighty, we should be live. It's been a minute since I did a solo episode, guys. So, in this video, we are going to go ahead and go through my season predictions that I made at the beginning of the season, now that the season is over before playoffs start, and see how well I did with predicting the standings, and see if I still agree with my playoff predictions before the playoffs start, and what my new playoff predictions may be. Now, I made these season predictions back in NBN episode 10, which I'll leave in the description if you really want to see it. But I'm going to admit, Nathan in episode 10 was a bit of a dumbass. And as you can see, the production value has gone way up, and I feel like I'm more knowledgeable in basketball now. Y'all can be the judge of that. But my predictions, I've already looked at them, and we're going to go through them. We're really bad. And I've made some videos since then that obviously show that my takes have changed. But let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the takes, though, I want to talk about some stuff that I haven't done in a while that I've been slacking on. So first of all, loser of the week. We have not done loser of the week in a very, very long time. And the reason for that is because Manu, my cat, actually ended up killing Lamar, the bird, who would sit upon the golden toilet. Now, I don't know what I expected getting a kitten while having a bird plushie, but Lamar is now missing an arm, so we're going to have to figure something out, but loser of the week, I think it's pretty obvious. Los Angeles Lakers missing the play-in tournament. And I predicted in the recent videos that they were going to fail. But in my season predictions back in episode 10, I actually did rank them very high because I was very stupid. But again, we're going to get into that. Also, you may have saw in the intro for people that are watching the edited version and not the live version, that I have meme intros again. So I haven't done meme intros in a while, but for my best of 2021, I did a compilation of all of my meme intros for the different episodes. And I went back and watched them, and I thought they were really funny, and I thought they added a uniqueness to the channel rather than just slapping my intro. It was a different one. It was a different sort of vibe every week. So I think that's something I should bring back, and let me know what you guys think, if you find them funny, if you don't like them, or whatever the case may be. But I like the meme intros. I'm going to start bringing them back so that I can have a compilation at the end of this year as well. And I should also mention as well that I wanted to record this before the playoffs, but I actually ended up getting sort of a minor cold. So if I sound raspy with my voice or congested, please do bear with me, and I apologize. As far as I can tell, I don't sound too bad, but again, if I'm coughing or my throat sounds bad, I do apologize in advance. Without further ado, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the predictions I had. So, in episode 10, I said that Jalen Green would win Rookie of the Year, and I thought that Cade Cunningham was a bit overrated. I thought that he would not even be really in the top 4 of Rookie of the Years. Now, obviously, my opinion of that has changed a little bit with my Cade Cunningham video that I made now having 5.5 thousand views, as far as I can tell. 5.5 thousand views last time I checked, so with the addition of Marvin Bagley, Cade Cunningham has improved for the Pistons, and his stats have gone up. And obviously, looking at it a lot different now, Cade has been a lot better than I expected. I still don't think he's winning Rookie of the Year, though. I will say that straight up, and I am sorry, Pistons fans. I don't think he's winning Rookie of the Year. But I did predict Jalen Green to win Rookie of the Year before the season started. And I don't think Jalen Green's going to win it either. I think it's the same opinion that everybody has nowadays, which is it's between Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, I've made some videos on. I've talked about him with the Cleveland Cavaliers and how his defense is something that has made the Cavs monumentally better. I've seen some sports posts on Instagram where people are talking about how Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes right now are overrated because, their offensive stats aren't that great. But when you look at defensive numbers, it's insane. So Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes definitely up there. I've seen different reports having Scotty at 1, Evan Mobley at 1. I personally like Evan Mobley the best. He's my favorite, but if Scotty Barnes wins it, I'm not going to be too mad because they're neck and neck right now in my eyes and in many people's eyes. As for the standings, let me mute my mic and blow my nose real quick. Sorry, guys. As for the standings, again, dumbass Nathan. Very, very bad predictions. I'll put them up on the screen in the edited version, so people that are watching this live or listening to the audio, I'm hoping that you can keep up. But they will be up on the screen in the edited video version. So I did say Jazz number 1, Suns number 2, which isn't too bad. And then I had the Clippers at number 3. So if we look at what the actual standings are, let's switch over here and go to the Western Conference. The Clippers are at number 8. And the Jazz are at number 5. So the Jazz are still generally towards the top, but I was dead set on saying that they would be top 3. So they're not top 3, but they are still playoff contention. Clippers, definitely not where I said they would be. Then I said Jazz, Suns, Clippers, Mavs at number 4. Mavericks are at number 4, so I was pretty right with that. And then I said Lakers would take the 5th spot, and we all know how that turned out. However, I did make a video after these predictions saying that the Lakers would either be a early first round or lose in the play-in. And they ended up not making the play-in at all. So I kind of adjusted my standings and said that the Lakers would be somewhere around this 9-10 range, which the Spurs and Pelicans are at right now. And then I said the Nuggets would take the 6th spot, which they are at right now. Then I said the Warriors at 7. The Warriors right now are at number 3 because I did not anticipate Andrew Wiggins and the return of Klay Thompson. Then I had the Blazers at number 8. So the Blazers basically went nuclear in trading their team away. You can never know for sure how trades are going to turn out. So the Trailblazers are actually number 13 right now. And I had them in the playoffs because of last year. So Dame over here, Damian Lillard, don't run from the grind, is struggling, fighting for his life at the bottom of the conference right now. Then I had the Spurs at, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Spurs at 9. Right now the Spurs are at 10, so it's pretty accurate with that. I did bump them up 1 spot because I am a Spurs fan, but still in the 8 to 10 range. So I would say I'm pretty accurate with that. Then I said that it would be the Rockets at 11. I thought that Jalen Green would really help the Rockets propel themselves into an 11th or 12th spot, and they are still at the bottom of the conference. I did not think that they would stay at the bottom of the conference. I thought they would at least be above a few of these other teams here. Unfortunately, Jalen Green just sort of has to carry, and he can't do that every night. So then I put OKC at 12. OKC right now is at 14, so a bit lower than I expected, but still relatively in the same range. The Kings, I was almost spot on with. The Kings, I said would be 13. They are right now at 12. Or is that 12? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh no, I did predict the Kings at 12. So I was exactly right with the Kings. I did not expect them to get Sabonis, but it seems that it doesn't really matter, seeing as how the Kings are at the 12th spot as I predicted. Now, we are going to get into Ja Morant later, but Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, wow. Grizzlies at the number 2 spot this season. I did not predict this at all. I absolutely trashed on the Grizzlies, and I'm sorry. I put the Grizzlies at the 13th spot. I figured they would be towards the bottom of the conference. I knew Ja Morant was great, but I sort of predicted that it would be similar to a Jalen Green scenario, where he was sort of the young guy that was trying to carry, and it didn't work out. But the Grizzlies actually have a good record without Ja Morant, and then Ja Morant is now on the most improved player ladder, which we will get into later. The Timberwolves at 14th spot, because their only good player in my mind was Karl-Anthony Towns. And the Timberwolves are now in the play-in with the Spurs and Clippers. And the Pelicans made some good trades this season. I predicted that the Pelicans would be rock bottom. I predicted they would be 15th, Zion injured, losing Lonzo, and now they're above my Spurs. So the Pelicans are doing pretty well for themselves, but I think they're going to get knocked out in the play-in. And excuse me again while I mute myself and blow my nose. I'm sorry again. Like as I said, I'm just dealing with a little bit of a cold here. So, all right. So yes, again, Pelicans. I predicted them to be at the absolute bottom. The Rockets ended up taking the bottom, and the Pelicans are above my Spurs right now for the play-in spot. So let's go over to the Eastern Conference. Now, the Eastern Conference, I made the prediction that I think everyone made at the beginning of the season. The Nets retaining the number 1 spot, which is now held by the Heat because of their additions of Kyle Lowry and the defensive power of Bam Adebayo. So the Heat are a really good team, and I look forward to seeing Heat's Bucks because, as I've discussed in other episodes, I see the Heat's Bucks being a long-term playoff rivalry with how they've been duking it out in the playoffs the last couple of years, and hopefully again this year. So then I put the Bucks at number 2 in my predictions, and the Bucks are at number 2 right now. I think everybody pretty much saw that coming. Pretty much keeping the same exact team from last year. No big trades other than losing PJ Tucker and then gaining Siakam and losing Dante DiVincenzo. The Celtics are at number 3 right now. I did not predict the Celtics to be this high. They've sort of been going off, and they've sort of been. Do I want to use the term dark horse? I don't know if I want to say dark horse, but sort of one that was slept on. We'll put it that way. The Celtics have been slept on this season, so they went up to the number 3 spot, and I had them at the 8th spot in my prediction. The 76ers I put 3rd, and they're at 4th, so that one was pretty accurate. And then, of course, losing Ben Simmons, picking up Harden. Harden's been playing ish, bronze medal worthy, no silver or gold level material yet, but does give Embiid some help. Then I had the Hawks in the 5th spot because of their run last year, and the Hawks dropped all the way to the 9th spot, so they are now battling the play-in with the Cavaliers and the Hornets. Then I had the Knicks taking the 6th spot. They've dropped all the way to 11 out of the play-in because Julius Randle is just ass. I mean, I think we can say that. Julius Randle is not the player that we hoped him to be. He is chasing the bag, and I can respect it. So Heat I had in the number 7 spot. Number 7 spot where the Nets are right now. So the Nets and the Heat are actually in exact opposite positions of each other in my prediction. I predicted the Nets would be in the 1st spot with the Heat, where the Heat are now, and I predicted the Heat would be at 7 where the Nets are now. So the Nets having to deal with injuries, I feel like they would be a lot higher if they didn't have to deal with injuries. But obviously KD being out for a while, Kyrie not playing, the loss of Harden, everything that just kind of drops them down. You know, they've kind of been drugged through the trenches these last couple weeks with everything going on. So then I have the Bulls at number 7. And the Bulls are at number 6 right now. So that one was pretty accurate. I knew that Alex Caruso and Zach LaVine would be a crazy duo on defense, and the defense is coming back this season. We've seen a predominance in defense again, with Heat being at number 1 with Bam Adebayo, Bucks with Giannis, the Bulls at number 6, the Cavaliers at number 8, and then again with the West, we see CP3 with steals, number 1, Jazz with Rudy Gobert, Nuggets with Jokic, and so on. Defense is sort of getting a resurgence in the NBA in my mind. So the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan went absolutely off, carrying the Bulls with all the injuries. I'd have to look at the injury report to see who's still injured currently, so I don't know where they'll end up in the playoffs. But Bulls, pretty much where I predicted them to be. Pacers, I predicted to be at number... Is that 9? Yes, number 9. I predicted the Pacers to be at 9. With the loss of Sabonis, they dropped all the way down to 13. I did not predict that the Pacers would do that great this season. I thought they would maybe make the play-in, but no, they are all the way down at 13th. Definitely not 9th. And the Celtics we already discussed. I put them at 8, and they are at 3. The Pistons I had at number 10. I thought they would move up a little bit with the addition of Cade, and I see them next season moving up definitely if they keep Marvin Bagley and make some other moves in the draft. So I could definitely see him being in the play-in next season, like I said in my Cade Cunningham video. But I thought they would be at least in the play-in this year, and they stayed towards the bottom with the 14th seed. The Hornets I put at number 11. They are at number 10, clinching the playoffs. Oh, I did not mean to go into that. There we go. The Hornets take the number 10th seed when I said they would make the 11th, clinching a play-in spot. I definitely can see some competition between the Hornets and the Cavs with Evan Mobley and Darius Garland, and versus Miles Bridges and LaMelo and all that. So the Raptors I put at number 12, and with Scotty Barnes, even though they lost Kyle Lowry, all the way in the 5th seed. So that makes a really good argument for Scotty Barnes to be Rookie of the Year, because he is just putting the team on his back, hard carrying the Raptors all the way to the 5th spot. Cavaliers I put at number 13. Obviously my opinion on that has changed with my Evan Mobley video. I thought the Cavs would finish towards the top and somewhere in the top 5 after I made my Cavs video, and they dropped down to number 8 with Jarrett Allen being, I think, injured the last couple weeks, so they've moved down a little bit. And then the Magic at number 14, I predicted they're at number 15, so not too far off. I'm sorry, JX Remy, friend of the channel. The Magic are doing ass right now. And then the Wizards I predicted would be very last at 15, and they are at 12. They moved up a little bit from the bottom with the pickup of Porzingis, but they still have to make a lot of moves to make up for what they've lost, and they might lose Bradley Beal soon as well. So it'll be interesting to see what moves they make. For playoff predictions, I didn't really do too many playoff predictions. We said that, me and CJ said that anybody can take the West with, we thought that it would be between the Jazz and the Nuggets. It seems to be the Suns. And then later I made a prediction that the Bucks would go back-to-back in 7 against the Warriors. We predicted that it would be Bucks versus Nets in a sort of rematch game for the Eastern Conference Finals, and that does not seem to be the case. It seems like it's going to be a Heat Bucks defensive type game, which will be very interesting to see. I'm very excited to see that Heat versus Bucks rivalry, especially if it goes to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think the Bucks can win in 7 against either the Warriors, or they can run it back against the Suns again this season. So let's get into some award predictions. Award predictions. MVP is going to be either Giannis or Jokic, and I think that's pretty obvious. Embiid was up there, but Embiid drops down sort of to the 3rd spot in the MVP ranking. So I like Giannis. I think Giannis should be MVP, but Jokic right now is top in the ladder, if I remember. And I've seen a lot of arguments for Jokic with the impact that he has on his team versus the impact that Giannis has. So I can kind of see Jokic winning it, because if you take away Giannis from the Bucks, you still have Middleton and Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. You take away the Nugget, or you take away Jokic from the Nuggets, and to put it the way GS said, the Nuggets become a G League team, and I gotta agree there. So Jokic, I would not be upset if Jokic won the MVP due to that, but I'm a Giannis fan, so I gotta root for Giannis, but I could easily see it being Jokic. Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year's gotta be Monty Williams. I mean, the Suns keeping their position at the top of the conference this season. Everybody thought it was a fluke last year, and he showed that it wasn't. And they broke a franchise record this year with 62 wins for the Suns, and now finishing off the season with 64. Now that I check, so the Suns have been doing incredible, and the Suns don't really get talked about that much. They were a huge market back when Steve Nash played for them, and ever since then, I feel like they haven't gotten too much attention until last year, whenever they made it to the finals again. And I would not be surprised if they make the conference finals or even the finals again. Monty Williams is an amazing coach. He used to work with the Spurs and Popovich, and Monty Williams has just done amazing things for that team. And for them to be at top of the conference again, breaking franchise record, showing everyone that last season was not a mulligan, just incredible. So as for Rookie of the Year, we kind of already touched on this. It's got to be Evan Mobley or Scotty Barnes. I mean, just based on their defensive power alone. Evan Mobley, I have a video on him. I don't have a video on Scotty Barnes, but I could make one depending on how they do in the playoffs. I think I'm an Evan Mobley fan. I think he has a similar skill set to Giannis if he puts on some muscle, playing a lot of defense and sort of pick and roll plays. So, and sort of a Euro step like Giannis. So, but Scotty Barnes obviously up there as well. Defensive Player of the Year. If Giannis doesn't win MVP, he better win Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis deserves at least one award this season. But Bam Adebayo, again, Bam Adebayo, Heat being top of the conference this year. Bam Adebayo has been going crazy on defense, and I haven't seen too many people talk about the Heat this season, surprisingly. Like, they're the number one in the conference, but they've sort of haven't gotten too much media attention. I feel like it's weird to say they've been slept on when they're literally the number one in the conference. But everybody's sort of talking about the Nets doing bad, the Bucks are staying where they're at, the Bulls, all these big super teams sort of thing, with especially with the Bulls, DeRozan, Caruso, etc. But I don't see too much on the Heat, which is surprising because again they got Kyle Lowry, they got PJ Tucker, two amazing pieces, and that defensive edge definitely helps them, especially with Bam Adebayo and PJ Tucker. So most improved player, surprisingly enough, I think the most improved player is as close as the most valuable player. Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. Most improved player, if we look at the stats here, which I can pull them up again, if I go to Chrome. So, John Morant has gone up 8 points since last season. He's gone up 0.2 blocks, 0.3 steals, and 1.7 rebounds. The only stat that he has decreased in is assist. But his 3-point has increased, his field goal has increased, his free throw has increased, rebounds increased, points increased, blocks increased, steals increase. And then if we go to Darius Garland, who's number 2 on the ranking, on the most improved ladder, it's the same sort of story. Points have gone up, blocks have stayed relatively the same, steals have gone up a little bit, assists have gone up, rebounds have gone up, free throw has gone up, 3-point has gone up, field goal has gone up. No stat here seems to have decreased as far as I can tell. The blocks have not increased, but they haven't decreased either. Being that he is playing at a smaller position, I don't see his blocks changing much for his entire career. But everything else has increased. Points per game going from 17 to 21. Steals 1.2 to 1.3. Assists 6 to 8.6. Rebounds 2.4 to 3.3. And then all of his shooting percentages as well going up. And then Dejounte Murray, I'm going to try and say this without being biased, but Dejounte Murray deserves to be up there as well. With him playing the way Pop wants him to play, losing Derek White, being now the full, complete first option. You know, it used to be a battle of point guards between him and Derek White, and now Derek White is gone, and DeJounte gets to shine a little bit more, which I love. Points have gone up 15 to 21. Blocks have gone up 0.1 to 0.3. Steals have gone up from 1.5 to 2, and I think he's up there in steals leader, if I'm correct. Assist almost doubled, skyrocketed, 5.4 to 9.3. Total rebounds, 7.1 to 8.4. Free throw dropped a little bit. Free throw went from 0.79 to 0.78, but not too much of a drop. 3-point went up. Field goal went up. I mean, this is a close most improved player race, guys, I gotta say. But the most improved player race is as close as the most valuable player race. I mean, every stat for each of these players has increased, and they've increased by similar amounts as well. And they're doing amazing They're playing amazing roles for their team. I think it'll go to Ja Morant just because the Grizzlies are so high right now, but that should not cast lower light on Darius Garland and Dejounte Murray's accomplishments this season and how much they have grown as players. So then, now that we have the standings set, let's make some playoff predictions, shall we? So, again, I think it's going to be Suns or Warriors in the finals against the Heat or the Bucks. I want the Bucks to go back-to-back against either the Suns or the Warriors. But I think the Heat and the Bucks will will play in the Eastern Conference Finals. Western Conference, I think it'll be Suns, Warriors. I think the Timberwolves will probably take that final or the Timberwolves and the Clippers will take the final playoff spots. So, Timberwolves versus Clippers, I could see Timberwolves winning that. Um, Jazz, Nuggets. I'm gonna have to go with Nuggets on that one because of Jokic. Warriors, Mavs, Warriors, Suns, Grizzlies, Suns. And then with the Eastern Conference, Heat, Bucks. I want the Bucks to win, but I could easily see the Heat making it. 76ers, Celtics can go either way. 76ers, Celtics, I think could be a 7-game series. And Raptors, Bulls, again, either way, could be a 6-game series. Yeah. I want to see the Bucks go back-to-back, and I think it can happen. So now let's get into some other stuff that doesn't have to do with predictions or playoffs. So, as a Spurs fan, Manu is added to the Hall of Fame. So, obviously, I'm very happy for him. But I've noticed some things when players get inducted into the Hall of Fame, which I wanted to talk on. The Hall of Fame should not diminish the resume. The resume should be the prerequisite for the Hall of Fame. And what I mean by that is as soon as a player gets into the Hall of Fame, for some reason, rather than the Hall of Fame being this great accomplishment, Hall of Fame, look at all these things he did, the 4-time championship, 6th man of the year, all these accomplishments. I see a lot of the time conversations sort of go towards, well, of course of course the Spurs have 5 championships, They had 3 Hall of Famers, it was easy for them. And that means that other players, that they have sort of their accomplishments, or the Hall of Fame inductee, their accomplishments seem to mean less somehow by getting into the Hall of Fame. Like, oh, Tim Duncan doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for all his championships because he had Manu, who's another Hall of Famer. Or, Tony Parker, who we'll get into. Tony Parker is up for a Hall of Fame next year. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Because he had help from 2 other Hall of Famers, Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili. And I think that's a really dumb take to have on the Hall of Fame. This is the biggest achievement that somebody can get in basketball. And obviously there's a lot of debate on getting into the Hall of Fame is a little bit too easy now and everything like that. You sort of just have to retire and then wait, essentially, until you're nominated. But the Hall of Fame should not diminish accomplishments. It should not diminish the resume. The resume is what makes them on the Hall of Fame ballot. The Hall of Fame ballot does not make the resume. It's not the other way around, guys. The resume makes the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame doesn't make the resume. And I people have just this weird perspective on that being in the Hall of Fame means that everything came easy for you because you were a Hall of Fame player. That's just not how it works. So that's really my take on it. Obviously, I'm really happy for Manu because I'm a Spurs fan, as you can see with all the shit in the background for the video watchers. So, but I really think we should give more respect to Hall of Fame players. And then, sort of the last topic I have on here, actually. So this might actually be a short episode. It might not be an hour episode. Tony Parker versus Dirk Nowitzki. I always mispronounce his last name because it's, German and all that. They are both on the Hall of Fame ballot for next year. And so the question becomes, who gets to be in the Hall of Fame? As a Spurs fan, I want it to be Tony. But as a basketball YouTuber, I know that it cannot be Tony. Because if we look at the stats, it's pretty simple. So again, let's go to Chrome here. So Dirk Dirk Nowitzki versus Tony Parker. Dirk only has one championship, but a lot of people argue that that is the hardest fought championship almost in NBA history. Tony Parker, however, has 4. And again, I see the argument being thrown around, Tony Parker had 2 other Hall of Fame players, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. But if we go to other stats besides just NBA championships, look at the All-Star games. Dirk has twice as many as Tony Parker. Dirk has 14 All-Stars while Tony has 6. Dirk has an MVP. They both have 1 Finals MVP. Dirk has made 4 All-NBA first teams while Tony Parker has made none. Then if we look at the stats per game, Dirk blows Tony Parker out in every single category. Points per game, Dirk 20, Tony 15. Rebounds per game, Dirk 7, Tony 2. Assists per game, the only category that Tony Parker leads. Dirk 2.4, Tony Parker 5.6. Steals per game, they're both equal, 0.8. Blocks per game, Dirk obviously being a big man, 0.8. Tony Parker 0.1. If we look at the total stats, still, Dirk obliterates Tony Parker in everything but assist. Total points, Dirk 31,000, Tony Parker 19,000. Rebounds, Dirk 11,000 being a big man, Tony Parker 3,000. Total assist, Tony Parker leads with 7,000, Dirk has 3,000. Steals, Dirk, despite being a big man, beats Tony Parker, while Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili are known for getting steals. Dirk 1,200, Tony Parker 1,000. Total blocks, Dirk 1,200, Tony Parker only 98 in his entire career. Less than 100 blocks. And then Dirk obviously played a little bit more games. So. And then if we look at their best season, Dirk in 2006, 26.6. Tony Parker in 2009, 22. Rebounds, Dirk, again, being a big man, 2002, 9.9. Tony Parker, 2005, 3.7. And it just keeps going. I mean, in the playoffs, Dirk is doing better. So, do I want it to be Tony as a Spurs fan? Yeah. As a basketball fan, do I think it's going to really be Tony? No. I mean, Dirk is one of the greatest big men that we've ever seen. Karl Anthony Towns a couple weeks ago was talking about how he is the best big man shooter of all time. He won the 3-point contest as a center, which hasn't been done. Either it was the first center to win it or the first center to win it in a while. I don't remember. But Karl Anthony Towns going off. I'm the best big man shooter. He didn't see Dirk. Dirk was on another level, and Dirk carried Dallas to their most hardest fought championship again. And Dirk is a Hall of Famer already in many people's minds. And so I don't think it's going to be much of a question that Dirk Nowitzki will be on that Hall of Fame first ballot, even though I want it to be Tony as a Spurs fan. And of course there's a little bit of publicity involved with it. It could go to Tony because, again, the Spurs are known for their big three. If Manu already got in, if Tim Duncan got in, it only makes sense to add Tony in there to complete the trio. But Dirk really is the one that deserves it, in my opinion. Dirk was just another breed. And we're seeing in today's league that big men are becoming more of shooters. And that wasn't common back in the day. Dirk was just that guy. And Dirk is going to win that Hall of Fame ballot. I mean, it's no question. Now, I could be wrong. And again, they could choose Tony just to have the 3 Spurs. But in my mind, even as a Spurs fan and in many people's, many people's minds, it's Dirk. So, I don't really have that much else for this episode, guys. I know this is a little bit less than an hour, but I don't have much to talk about. So, playoffs start here in 2 days since I'm recording this on Sunday. So, I'll have more to talk about as playoffs go on, but I just kind of wanted to look back at my predictions because I thought it would be a fun thing to do and see how well I did. And I did atrocious in my predictions because early Nathan Butnett, I did not have that much basketball knowledge, but I would like to think that now I am much more educated, make some better predictions, and make some better videos that y'all have seen, like my Cade video with 5.5K views, my Primo video with 6K views, and so on. I feel like I have better takes now, but y'all can be the judge of that. So anyway, I will see y'all in the next one, guys. Be sure to check out the links in the description to all my socials and all that. Oh, speaking of socials, I forgot to even do that. So follow me on Twitter, guys, because I was going to bring up the polls that I did. So I did 2 polls on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter in the description. But one poll was, who is your MVP? And I only got 2 votes because, again, a lot of y'all don't follow me on Twitter. But I put, who's your MVP? And I said that mine personally is Giannis. So I put Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. And one person voted for Embiid and one person voted for Jokic. So I was surprised that nobody voted for Giannis. And somebody picked Embiid over Giannis. And then I had another poll that was for my Spurs fan base. And I said, are you team tank or team playoffs? And Clan has gotten a lot of hate recently for saying that he is team tank and he wants the lottery pick. I honestly don't care either way. If we make the playoffs or we tank, I think either way it's beneficial. But 67% said I'm team tank. And then 33% said I'm team playoffs. So a lot of people are hating on Clan for being team tank, but it seems that from my fan base at least, a lot of people as well are team tank. So those are the polls that I had on my Twitter. So again, follow me on Twitter, link in the description. It's just Gingy with 3 Ys and then YT for YouTube. So I'm trying to be more interactive with y'all over on there. And then obviously these are streamed live over on Twitch. So we are on 40 followers right now. We're trying to hit 50 by the end of the year. So go follow the Twitch if you want to see these live or watch me play 2K or Outlast or whatever other games I do. And then obviously these episodes are available on Spotify if you like the audio version. So go listen there. We're trying to hit 1K listens by the end of the year. We're on about 510. So go share those around. And then of course the video versions on YouTube and all that good stuff. So go share my videos around. I really do appreciate it. That Cade Cunningham video, I asked y'all to share it around and y'all did, and it ended up getting again that crazy 5K number, and we went up a bunch of subs. So please share the videos around. It really does help. And I will see y'all in the next one, guys, and I'll have more to talk about as the playoffs continue, which will be fun. So peace out. Sorry for having the cold. You know, can't control my allergies and all that. So Nathan Butnett, episode 24.